Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I know it's been a very long time since I posted something, but I've been having so many technical difficulties between OBS, that's the software I use to screen record, and then with Premiere, that's the software I use to edit, and then with the sim gallery. Well, every time I build something and I open up the gallery, my game would just freeze. So I would be very surprised if this build is up right now because I'm kind of scared to enter the gallery. But definitely, I will leave an update down in the comment section below if you can find this wonderful, wonderful cat build. Yes, I said this build is in the shape of a cat. It's pretty much just straightforward. It's a one-story home. It's only a lady and her husband who lives here, but she has a lot of cats. Like I think I think I have the X amount of Sims you can have inside of a household. So it's already two Sims and six cats. And I kind of was hesitant about like how many cats I'm gonna put in this house because she is old and what's gonna happen to the cats. Like, do they go to her daughter, or do they go back into the adoption system? Because yeah, she adopted. I didn't. I'm not too fond of the whole pet creation in CAS. I I pretty much prefer for my sim to adopt their cats because it's already there, it's already made. You can choose the gender or you can choose how old they are without me like going through that whole hassle of selecting a breed. Do I want a mixed breed? Do I want this? Do I want that? Very straightforward. So I thought about like how can I do whiskers on this cat. So I pretty much just did like the half walls, but I layered them so they're all different sizes. So from the front of the house, you can see that there are three whiskers instead of one. And I thought this was so creative. I literally had so much fun creating this house to the point where I was actually creating a previous house and I stopped that house to do this build, which took me only, I would say, about 2 hours. It didn't take me long at all because I I actually drew it out on what I'm gonna do to see if it was even possible for me to do this before I attempted it. Before I waste my time. But the house I was creating is pretty exciting because I want to start my very first LP, and I was creating the characters for them. I was creating the house, so I can't wait for you guys to see that. I'm gonna actually start playing and start recording. I don't want to give too much away, but it's very exciting. Okay, I guess I will give a little hint because I'm so excited about this. It's a show that I'm obsessed with, and I wouldn't say obsessed, but I do watch it every day because it's one show on Netflix that I've seen already like a million times, so I don't need to be paying attention. It's good background noise, and I pretty much know every word of every episode. Now, with that, I didn't even think to recreate them in Sims, but then I was going through a Sim blog and they had the challenge. So I was like, duh, that would be so easy and so creative. And I can have my own outcome than the show because I'm a little mad about what happened to one character or what didn't happen to one character at the end of the show. So I'm excited to rebuild their whole world in this game. And even giving that like New York style house because I do live in New York, so it's very interesting to see how I can translate my knowledge of typically what that house in that area looks like. But also one thing that I feel like isn't I'm gonna like talk about this more when I upload the speed build. But because I'm looking for apartments in New York right now, I'm like the size of this living room is so unrealistic. Like I will never be able to find a living room in that area that big for the price that the characters were making, like the income that the characters were making in the show. Like that's just impossible. So I'm very excited about that build. I can't wait for you guys to see that. So back to this build, the people who I have inside of this house, as I said, was a woman and her husband and her 6 cats. So when I was initially making this build, I only had the woman in mind. I didn't have the husband because I was like, a cat lady typically, stereotypically, she lives alone. The reason why she has so much cats is because she's alone. But I felt that a husband was needed for the type of lifestyle that I want to give her daughter in terms of my personal gameplay. Because the daughter has a daughter. So that daughter has the same common interest with the husband in the sense that they both love music and they both are totally obsessed. So like in my mind, I'm like, okay, they grew up in the same household before the parents moved to this house, and the daughter and her grandfather had this amazing bond. He taught her how to play the piano, and he just teaches her how to play pretty much most instruments, and like their bond is on 100. So that's why I was like, okay, I need to add in this grandfather, and I also want to add someone to like, I don't want to say deal with her, but like expect expect this of her. Like like when you watch some couples and then the wife is just so extra and the husband's like, yeah, that's my wife. I deal with it. What can I do? Someone to take all the craziness. So I thought it was perfectly fine. The husband, he's quiet. He just sticks to himself. He had this amazing musical career, and throughout their relationship, she's been all for him. They had this one child, and then now that he's retired, he's like, okay, I'm all for you. So then they moved to this cat house because she had aspirations of owning a lot of cats. Clearly, you can only own 6 cats because it's just the two of them. So he's like, we're gonna need to move. We need a bigger house. She went on. She went on line. She saw that this lot was vacant. She hired me. I was like, I can build you this cat house of your dreams. I'm kidding. Okay, I'm kidding. But you get the point. This house is pretty much dedicated just to her. All he has in this house is that little entranceway where I put a piano for him and his granddaughter to practice. But other than that, she loves this house. It has a lot of browns and a lot of pinks and yellows because her favorite color, hypothetically, is yellow. Why not, right? So that's showcased a lot in this house. One thing I will say about when I build a house, I do tend to stick to those recessed lights because when you use any other light, they don't cast much of a distance than these reset lights. Like literally I can use one reset light per room and the room would be well lit. But if I use like any other lights, I need to add like one light over here, one light over there, and it's just too much. But I am thinking, granted their age, I am gonna add. I think I'm gonna go back and add more lights, like different types of lights than reset lights, because I feel like reset lights are more modern, and this house shouldn't be that modern. Yeah. Okay. So the one thing about the cats is that they all have different personalities. Like they're all different. She feels like these are all her children. I'm speaking about it like if I'm doing a like if I'm doing a let's play, but I don't think I'm gonna actually play with them. I may just play with her daughter and her granddaughter because her daughter is single mom. She's out there looking for love, but she's doing it all wrong. Huh, that sounds like a very interesting let's play. No, but I need to stick to the let's play that I have coming up because I'm so excited about that one. It's so hard doing these builds where I'm doing it for others and I can't use CC content because if I was able to use CC content, it would have been cats every single where. Like this cat's animal, this. yeah, it would just been, it would have been great. But okay, so another pet peeve that I have with Sims is it's hard to find things. So I usually stick to rooms because everything is just there together. But typically it's kind of hard to find objects like, okay, for example, the washing machine. It's the washing machine I feel like is in the most weird category. I think it's like in activities and skills. I believe I need to double check that. But for me to find the washing machine, I need to like type in search washing machine, or I need to go to the washing machine room to find it. But then that means that my houses will come out looking like my laundry room to come out looking the same because I saw this in my laundry room and I was like, okay, that's cute. Let me just add this in instead of being creative and thinking this through. Wait, am I the only person who adds room dividers when they're open now? When they have like archways, I I just feel like it's just like a force of habit of mine to add room dividers. I just feel like it makes the room more closed off but open at the same time. And I think it's just because I, most of the rooms here in New York have room dividers. It's not something I'm like, okay, every room must have one. But I think that, I don't know, it's just like a weird habit that I do. I just wish that they were like more neutral colors, like a brown. I know those are like for the pool, but they can give me like a brown. I wanted this home to feel a lot like grandma's house. Like, I wanted to have a lot of activities that didn't involve technology because let's a lot of elderlies aren't into technology, let's be honest. That's honestly what I study in school is children and elderly tech capabilities. But I I feel like a lot of them have computers and TVs. When company comes over, I know it's the reason why my grandmother has a whole lot of like she has a TV in the living room that she really doesn't use, but she's very adamant on having it because when guests come over, and then she also has a computer that she's never touched, but the grandkids use it when they go over, and like she has an iPad and laptop, and I'm just like, hey, if you want it, just to want it, I hope it pushes you to actually use it. But a lot of them are more for catering to everyone else in term when it comes to technology. So for this build, I wanted to have a easel. I wanted to have like that's the reason why there's a room for planting because there's like a lot of planting going on. Um, Sim likes to cook, like make a lot of her cat meals, like actually cook them and not like feed them out of a package. It's very interesting because I've been thinking about that because I'm in the process of looking for a dog. I'm not gonna adopt one for probably until like the beginning of next year, but I'm still looking, seeing what's possible. I'm literally trying to find a Jack Russell Terrier puppy male, and obviously I can't. Obviously, I can't start looking for one now and get attached because by the time I want to adopt it, he won't be a puppy no more. But I do. I'm starting to see if like the breeds are more accessible in adoption centers and whatnot, which is kind of being it's becoming a hassle. Let's be honest, it's becoming because a lot of the dogs that are there are pit bulls and the aggressive breeds, which I don't dog discriminate. I don't think a breed it would justify the type of dog they are, but because I'm looking for apartments, those breeds are on the no list in terms of dogs that I can actually have. So that's becoming a hassle that I'm going through right now. But, I'm like, am I going to be the type of owner that would give, buy my dog the most expensive dog food or even like make its food? I definitely know for sure that I would be the type of owner who make sure that they get exercise at least 2 to 3 times a day. You know, me one day, and then I already have an agreement with my brother. I'm like, you can walk the dog. I'll pay you to walk my dog once a day. Because he also loves dogs. The only thing that stops us from getting a dog right now is my parents, because they believe that they're gonna be the ones taking care of this dog. But I'm like, at the end of the day, you guys are gonna be the ones who are loving this dog more than I am. Yeah, so that was a little side note about me. So yeah, back to what I was saying about this household. It has a lot of things for entertaining. So there's a swing set for her granddaughter. Granted, her granddaughter's a teenager now, so swing set probably for her future grandkids. Yep, I also added an area for them to do laundry. You know what's so funny? My grandmother, she has a washing machine and a dryer, literally brand new, but she still prefers to do her laundry by hand and hang outside. And I'm like, okay, do you. Do what you want. I'm not judging over here. I have an area in the backyard where, all the great plants are showcased, all, the better ones that can sustain, that really don't need any help, honestly. And I added plant pots in front for her to do her own outdoor planting. And yeah, I hope you guys really enjoyed this build. You guys can see some screenshots of the areas of the house I didn't show, like the dining room, the study area, and the outside of the house. I'm so sorry about these screenshots because I totally forgot that with like Sims seasons, everything changes. I didn't realize that it was wintertime when I pressed play. If anyone has any suggestions on how I can take good pictures in light of the season, please let me know down below. But thank you guys so much for watching. Be sure to subscribe, like, and comment. Let me know if you like this house, what's your favorite part of this house. You can hopefully find this build on the Sim Gallery, Tiffthegift with 2 T's at the end. And thank you guys so much for watching. Bye.